We're always told that history is, well, messy. It's just this chaotic story of human ambition, of wars and chance encounters, a totally unpredictable narrative written in blood and stone. But what if that's just the cover story? What if history isn't a story at all, but a program?
Take a look at this. This is the official version of the past, right? You've got a sequence of kings and kingdoms rising and falling pretty much based on circumstance. Traditional history tells us there are no real patterns here, no grand plan. It's just stuff that happened.
But when you start to really look closely at the data, these weird anomalies start to pop up. Impossible coincidences, mathematical regularities that, frankly, just shouldn't be there. It's almost like there's a bug in the official narrative, a glitch in the historical code.
Okay, so let's dive into how we find it. The tool we're going to use is called structural analysis. Now, forget dusty old textbooks for a second. Think of this more like a debugging program. We're essentially running a diagnostic on the timeline itself, looking for patterns so improbable, so out of place, that they could only be the result of a deliberate design.
So, where do we start? Our first target is the Holy Roman Empire. Specifically, we're looking at the list of Roman-German kings from the year 911 all the way to 1313. Why? Because the data from this period has this glaring anomaly, a piece of code that just doesn't belong in what should be a random historical sequence.
And here it is, the basic algorithm. It's actually a combination of two things, a repeating pattern, C, H, and a growing one. C stands for a king named Conrad, and H for a king named Henry. And in between them, you get this block of other kings that, get this, grows by one with each repetition of the cycle.
Let's look at the raw data together. Here's the list of kings, see it? You get Conrad I, then Henry I, then a block of 3 other kings. Then, boom, Conrad II, followed by a bunch of kings named Henry. And after them, a block of 4 kings. The pattern is literally hiding in plain sight.
Okay, now let's zoom out a bit. This isn't just some cutesy pattern of names. No, it's a temporal structure. Each one of these cycles, the ones that start with a Conrad, they last exactly 113 years. For 400 years, the entire succession of kings follows this perfect mathematical rhythm. It's weird.
So, here's the crucial point. This isn't just one little anomaly. We're talking about 4 interlocking systems all running in perfect sync. You have the name algorithm, the CHXH thing. You have the precise 113-year time intervals. Then there's the fact that each cycle lines up perfectly with a specific dynasty. Oh, and one more thing. The names Conrad and Henry only appear as kings inside the system. The odds of all this happening by chance, it's pretty much 0.
But you might be thinking, come on, maybe it's just a really weird coincidence? Okay, fair question. To find out, we need a control group. We need what you might call a firewall, a chunk of verified modern history to run our diagnostic against. Because if this medieval pattern really is artificial, it's not going to show up in real unprogrammed data.
All right, here's the list of British monarchs since 1707. You've got Anne, George, another George, William, Victoria, Edward. You get the picture. There's absolutely no deep mathematical structure here. It's random. It's messy. It's exactly what you'd expect from real history.
And just to really drive it home, let's look at the US presidents. I mean, this list is even more chaotic. Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison. Again, no hidden algorithms, no repeating cycles, nothing. This is our baseline for a natural, unprogrammed historical timeline.
I mean, the contrast really couldn't be more stark, could it? On one side, you have this precise, multi-layered mathematical structure. On the other side, you just have the messy randomness of human events. The medieval German data isn't just an anomaly, it's a profound deviation from the norm. It really truly looks like code.
So that raises a pretty big question. Was this just some localized bug, a strange little quirk in the German source code? Or was this a systemic exploit, a pattern that shows up in other historical modules all across Europe?
Well, it turns out the pattern isn't isolated. Not at all. Let's look at France. We find a different system, sure, but it has the exact same artificial precision. We see a 393-year period. That's exactly 3 times 131 years. That is neatly framed by the death of a king named Charles and the rise of another king named Charles.
But this right here is the true smoking gun. For over 250 years, French kings named Philip exclusively married women from one specific pool of names.
Bertha, Elizabeth, Maria, Joan. And, at the same time, kings named Louis exclusively married women from a completely separate pool. Blanche, Adelaide, Margaret. There is zero overlap between the two. Statistically, this is impossible. It's just not how life works. This isn't history, this feels more like data entry.
And guess what? The exploit shows up in England too. After 1399, the usual chaos of royal succession suddenly snaps into this rigid symmetrical grid. The royal houses arrange themselves into these perfect little blocks of 3. You get 3 kings from Lancaster, then 3 from York, then 3 from the Tudors. It's just too clean, too neat. It's another pattern that just screams design, not chance.
So we have these individual modules, Germany, France, England, and they all seem clearly artificial. But what happens when we zoom out even further? Is there some kind of overarching program, a grand design that links them all together?
Well, here it is, the master algorithm. It turns out the German king list isn't a standalone program at all. It's more like a subroutine, and it fits perfectly inside this vast symmetrical structure that spans over 700 years of European history, perfectly bookended by Charles Martel on one side and Charles V on the other. The whole thing is balanced perfectly around a central point in time. And the entire structure, all 700 years of it, is generated by a single, shockingly elegant, recursive algorithm. X, Y, N, Y. Think of it like this. A king with name X is followed by some number of other kings, and then a king with name Y. This simple rule just repeats itself 7 times across 7 centuries, using different names for X and Y in different eras, but always following the exact same mathematical logic. This looks like the source code of the Middle Ages. Which of course leaves us with one final and frankly unavoidable question. The data is pretty clear. The succession of kings, the lengths of dynasties, even the names of the queens they married, all of it appears to have been programmed. So, if the timelines themselves were written like code, what else in our accepted history was too?